The SS Sapona is a shipwreck located in Bimini, Bahamas. We took this excursion in early December of 2022 while on a cruise with Carnival on the Elation out of Jacksonville, Florida. The water was not cold, but it was not exactly warm either, and it felt chilly when you first entered. This excursion is available on all Carnival ships docking in Bimini. Prices through Carnival were $114.99 per adult, ages 13 and over, and $104.99 per child, ages 12 and under. This excursion requires a moderate level of activity, and anyone with severe health issues should exercise caution in participating. You will have to be able to enter and exit from a ladder attached to the boat, with the boat possibly rocking back and forth. Depending on the weather, there can be strong currents around the shipwreck also, so exercise caution. The minimum age to participate in this excursion is 5 years old. The SS Sapona excursion lasts about 2 hours with a boat ride of about 40 minutes out to the shipwreck and 40 minutes back to the docks. You will get approximately 30 to 40 minutes of time in the water. The crew was very helpful and they gave detailed instructions on what to do. We would advise you to follow their instructions closely since there are some hazards around the shipwreck and the site can be dangerous if you do not follow their instructions. Included in the excursion is rum punch for the ride back, a bottle of water for the trip out, and all the snorkel gear you'll need to participate. You can bring your own snorkel gear if you like, and we use ours on this trip. Let's talk about the history of the Sapona. The SS Sapona was one of a fleet of concrete ships originally commissioned by former U.S. President Woodrow Wilson to serve as a troop transport during World War II, because steel was in short supply at the time. Said to have been designed by Henry Ford himself, it was built by the Liberty Shipbuilding Company in Wilmington, North Carolina, and the sister ship to the ship Cape Fear. Because the ship was completed after the end of the war, it was sold for scrap to Carl Fisher, one of the developers of Miami Beach. He used it briefly as a casino and then for oil storage, before it was purchased in 1924 by Bruce Bethel, a former British war captain and a liquor merchant out of Nassau. Bethel moved the ship to Bimini and used it as a floating warehouse to store and distribute his liquor supply during the Prohibition era, earning him his notoriety as the Bimini's Rum King. During a hurricane in 1926, the ship ran aground and was damaged substantially. It was then used as a bombing target for training by U.S. fighter planes during World War II. However, after a group of 5 torpedo bombers mysteriously disappeared while returning from a run to the Sapona on December 5, 1945, all target practice on the Sapona stopped immediately. The wreck sits in 15 feet of water just a few miles off Bennett's Harbor in South Bimini, and most of the concrete on the hull has now been worn away by the bombing and weathering. However, you can still see some of the ship's inner workings and might find an interesting souvenir from the past as you swim along the multitude of tropical fish. The surrounding area is a prime fishing drop, and the wreck itself is both a navigational landmark for boaters and a popular scuba diving site as well as snorkeling site. Some brave souls even dare to dive 40 feet into the ocean from the top of the ship. This underwater museum on Bimini's powdery ocean floor holds many secrets. It is definitely worth visiting by history buffs who enjoy being in a setting that has many interesting tales to tell.